Hello, welcome to Line War. Today we have a 1v1 between Akamisc and someone said that my nickname sucks. During the picking phase, where they get to choose the locations they have the potential to start in, we have AKA picking the center section, which he's been lucky. He's been able to get most of the control over the central island of the map. Whereas Nickname seems to have gone to the island in the south, where there's a lot of economy there, a trade route and 2 cities. He just needs to get access to the other island. AKA starts his match by setting up the commands for his units. He's spread out enough to get 2 trade routes set up instantaneously if he wants to. However, he decides against that. He does set up 1 town with 2 navy yards, an airfield, and he's not actually building any energy yet. He's got a barracks coming up now. So he's got a lot of energy-based units in production, but he seems to be waiting to set up that trade route to start with. I think he's trying to protect them or expand out further first. Now it seems Nickname's taking a bit of a risk here. He's only starting with 3 territories. However, with a small island, I suppose you don't need as many. But that does allow him a lot more money to use to start the game with. He's going for an airfield, 2 barracks, 2 navy yards, a town and a docks, which is going to mean he starts with a higher income and more production than AKA as well. So he's covering his island well, and he's placed those navy yards in an offensive position, because he could have placed them on the other side of the island to get those other energy wells, but instead he's placed them there. So I'm assuming he's going to try and land on AKA's island as soon as possible. And by the looks of it, he's going offensive in the sea, but he's using the air units so he doesn't have to build transport boats. But that's just a guess, so let's see how the match plays out. So we're now into the Line War game. We have Akamisc over here, as we can sort of see in the battlefield now. Also, this is something I haven't asked for a long time, but I notice a lot of my viewers are not subscribed, so I feel like saying, feel free to subscribe if you want. If you don't like this in the future, you can always unsubscribe later. But if you want to see these types of videos in your feed in the future, then feel free to subscribe. But it looks like AKA is going for some transport boats. And we have some markers up here. Yeah, so Nickname did have the potential to start up in this section here. And AKA's got an interceptor being built, and once it's done, he's going to scout this area, and once he sees that, he's going to pretty much know that Nickname is down here in the south. Nickname doesn't have an energy well yet, so he's going for a power plant, and that's going to help fund him for a little bit. He's going to run out of energy pretty quickly though, but we do have those commandos being sent across already. They're going over here. And then they're going to run away all the way down this way to try and get away from AKA's grasp there. And at this point, AKA knows that Nickname's not in this area, or at least is pretty sure. As he's now scouted that section. He's also going for some commandos, I assume, with these transports. And we've got some anti-air ships moving in this way, and they're going to be using the transport boats to cut across here. So that scout was to see which area was clear to go to. And there is an energy well here, but this one I feel is going to be a bit contested, but Nickname's probably going to have most of the control there. And is also going to be using boats to transport across, so I was wrong. He is going to at least use 1 boat. He's got another one being produced there. And he does have a destroyer over here trying to get these energy wells now. Those commandos have changed course. Actually, no, they haven't. There's 2 going this way and 2 over here. He's trying to find a way through AKA by the looks of it. Trying to sneak in to see what they can find and destroy. And if he can get some in there, there is a clear route here, but Nickname can't see that yet. But there is a chance that he might end up accidentally spotting something very valuable to target. Nickname's now getting some other things. So he's got 3 transport boats. He plans transport jets, and he does plan to use them quite a lot by the looks of it. Some heavy harassments. He's going straight in through this section now. AKA is over here on this island with a barracks as well, so he's expanded already. And he also plans to go over here by the looks of it. We've got the transport jet. He does have one produced, he just doesn't have the commandos for it yet. And the commandos are now moving in. They found an energy well, and it's being targeted now with even more commandos coming in. But we have interceptors trying to take those out. It looks like they might get one. They do. The energy well goes down. It means AKA has no energy anymore. And these transport boats that are black smoking, they are weakened and will take extra damage. Their defense is out. He's taken out another barracks. Looks like 2 are going to go down over here. The only thing he can actually use to defend are the infantry because of the lack of energy. But if AKA wants more energy, he does have a safer place to put it now. He does already have energy. I'm not sure where he's got it. Oh, over here, and he's protecting it there. One commando has sort of escaped, but it's probably going to get spotted here. Yeah, by the interceptors. I'm curious as to what's going to go on over here. We've got a barracks down here for Nickname, as those commandos sort of spread out a bit further, expanding backwards. The submarines come out and is being jumped on by Nickname. Nickname's going to press forward. He's probably going to spot this navy yard. It's not looking good for a start with Akamisc at the moment. And we have some jets coming in over here for Nickname. He's going to just jump in over there. He's probably going to spot it for these boats that were passing by. So AKA is probably going to be aware of this pretty soon. And he's bringing his units back to do so. Yeah, he's going to try and take out the barracks first, though. Interceptors were sent somewhere. Maybe scouting? Or did they actually kill something? Yeah, there was an engagement here. I just saw the bodies disappear. But AKA is running out of energy. He's got one energy well up, but it's not quite enough. And he's got enough to build another energy well if he chooses to. Looks like he's just built something. He's building economy over here. He's trying to get a city up and running. And it looks like AKA is going to try and go for the energy over in this section. But he is struggling to move those units, especially with a cruiser there. Cruisers take up a lot of energy. He's got 2 cruisers. But Nickname's also running out of energy. And is that destroyer trying to go backwards? It is. That was interesting. The cruiser's getting jumped on, and I think Slum made it through. Yep, I think 2 missile ships is enough to take on a destroyer quite easily. Nickname's managed to get in there and block the path at least. And there's only 1 cruiser left to come in. But there are 2 here already. And there's not much left to actually try and engage there. But they are moving in pretty fast. I don't think they'll be able to destroy the energy well yet. They might do. I'll just quickly have a look over here. I can see the commandos dropping in down in this section. They have been spotted pretty quick. They're trying to quickly run away and try and maybe find some other targets. Just going back over here, the energy well is alive still. And they did manage to stop the units coming in. Nickname was quick to respond to that, and he definitely intercepted those ships pretty efficiently. AKA's got a decent sized navy but lacks the energy to use them at the moment, and with the commandos on the field he really needs his air units up to try and find them and target them, but unfortunately they won't move, and Nickname might be able to jump on top of them and potentially destroy that airfield, which would take out quite a few units. It's a lot of money to lose. Down in this section, Nickname still has some control over here, but is getting pushed a little. I don't think he's trying to defend it too much. He's just trying to cause as much damage like that as possible. An energy well goes down here. Nickname managed to sneak some units through and get that energy well pretty well. AKA's got a good control over here. I think Nickname's doing absolutely amazing when it comes to harassment and protection of his own, preventing harassment. And he's managed to gain control over in other sections of the map, which he would have been much difficult to do later. He's taken out another energy well. But AKA is stopping Nickname over here. He's still struggling to move his units though. These commandos are assisting the Navy for that reason. But I would just want to quickly check their economy. So let's have a look at AKA. He's got 1,000 per minute, whereas Nickname has 700. So Nickname is running on sufficiently less economy. But yet just the harassment is making AKA spend so much more money. And there isn't much AKA can really do, especially when his airfield goes down and he's lost that control. He's lost the energy well down here as well. Those units must have moved in through this section and just sort of sniped it there. And this energy well got taken out as well. I missed that, unfortunately. Not quite sure what took that out. There is still two commandos over here. Now there's one. And that barracks nearly went down. Even though it didn't go down, the damage still takes cost capital to repair. The sub-pen has been taken out here from these ground units there. We've got more barracks being set up, and they're setting up defences in the forest. Infantry do get a bonus in the forest. So that defence will be a little better than normal, but he's being attacked by infantry as well. And he is expanding with just one infantry down here, but the commanders are being moved up as well, so they're going to have some more units here in a minute. But the distraction over here from Nickname is not going to allow too much to happen in this section, but AKA really needs to try and focus on keeping control of this main island. But AKA is not out, and they're preparing on other islands too. They've got a lot of economy situated on this island, and they're setting up a lot on this island too. So AKA is getting a lot of distractions and is taking a lot more damage, but I feel like his economy is just going to increase. Nickname's gone to 900, and AKA's gone up 1,100 now in total. So it's about the same difference, a little bit higher for AKA at the minute. Nickname's sort of surrounded here, but going to try and blast his way through this way. Got this small group of infantry going for this energy well as well. Just constantly trying to find anywhere to cause the damage. And we have multiple locations where he's got 3 barracks set up. And he just keeps applying pressure. He sees the defense and he's just moving around it. And he's going to try and take out that barracks instead. Is there anything else going on at the backs here? No. Nickname's got good control over the ocean. But AKA is stopping him from going through this sort of choke point area. Set up another navy yard for him there to increase his pressure in the ocean. And there's even a navy yard on this side now, which will allow him access to 2 more energy wells if he can get hold of it. Doesn't look like he's got any airfields yet. He really wanted to have some air units around. And unfortunately Nickname just keeps on taking them out. He's taken out the barracks that was here, and he's pushed in against the back of this defense, which completely negates the actual bonus from the defense. The helicopters in the air now. The infantry can take out helicopters, but they're going to really struggle to do so. 2 commandos also sneaking in the back over in this section. The Navy rushes into this area. I think they're aiming for this energy well. And they do successfully move past them. The problem is that AKA is going for cruisers, which, number one, require a lot of energy to move and are slower than these faster units. Got some more commandos dropping in over here, and it seems like they took out some things that were in the way. But there's not too many of them left. That energy well is going to go down. And that's going to increase the problems for AKA. We've got air units coming in, literally interceptors trying to take on this energy well with its almost completely destroyed as well, so they might actually succeed there. And infantry keep pressuring this section here, but they've just pulled in a group coming that way. The interceptors do take out the energy well. And it looks like AKA is being swarmed in this section here. But is swarming himself over here, and he's pushing back against Nickname. He also has a landing group here that's just started forming, which is harassing this energy well as well. There's too many fronts to keep an eye on in this battle. Interceptors are still coming over, trying to do some damage on these structures. And with the lack of anti-air, that is going to be a problem for AKA. We've got helicopters as well. That's where it's going to seriously start hurting him if he doesn't respond to the air unit. I've just spotted we got barracks being placed very close to Nickname's barracks, and I don't think Nickname spotted them yet. They're still following sort of old paths there. And I'm not sure AKA is aware that Nickname's in this mountain here. We've got a big force of cruisers setting up here, which is going to be a problem for Nickname if he lets those build up. And wants to keep control over that ocean, but then also AKA still has to move them, and Nickname's trying his best to not allow that to happen. We've got a group moving in over here, which the units are out of place for this attack, but he was expecting to come in from this way. So he's now going to have to try and rework the units here. The helicopter's landing at just the wrong time with the units coming in there. And Nickname somehow again has managed to sneak some units into the back end here. He's got them to come around through there and sneak around over the top of the map. Interceptor moving in to take out that helicopter, and it just lands as it gets destroyed. But there are SAMs on the field now, so those SAMs will be able to take out the air units as they come in, but there's only one so far. And it looks like he's focusing on SAM units now as production. But he does have one random artillery there. Just noticed we've got a transport boat here. I keep saying boats. A transport jet here. Oh, and I just realised where those boats came from. They possibly came from this here if that was actually fully constructed. But if Nickname can get the commandos in that jet, they could actually make it across to this island over here, which by the looks of it is relatively unprotected. Just like to have a look over here, because I know Nickname was jumping in some units that way. He is going for a bit of an attack here, but I don't think he's got enough units to actually take hold of anything there. But he has dropped more off, actually. He's got enough to take him out. There is more production. He could just bring some units in from that side. Nickname's sending a force mostly this way, but sneaking off some commandos up in this section. And I'm guessing he's going to go for the energy well again. Helicopters are being moved over this way, which is not great timing with the interceptors being pulled over. Nickname does take out one of these structures. The barracks there is left over though. But there's not much left to deal with it. I feel like most of these fronts are running on fumes, but AKA seems to be slowly taking back control. He's got good sections over here. Most of his sections are protected now. And these commandos are finally moving in, and they are surrounded. Commandos, yeah, these cruisers are moving in. They are surrounded by Nickname's navy, but I feel like they can probably take them out. I want to have a quick look at the economy. We've got 1,800 from the AKA, and Nickname's on 1,400, so Nickname's never actually managed to catch up in this. Which is unfortunate for him. Those cruisers are just pretty much plowing through whatever's around. I'm just going to switch back over to AKA, because I can imagine his energy is being destroyed. He is, and it looks like AKA won. Nickname was doing incredibly successful harassments throughout that entire match, but unfortunately just couldn't keep up with the economy of AKA. And once he actually managed to get control and prevent as much damage from those harassments, AKA was just able to push Nickname back, which was unfortunate for Nickname, but that was a bit of a turning tides of game. Just kind of flipped over at the end. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about that match. And if there's 2 videos on screen right now, feel free to click on one, and I'll see you there.